the logical piece to move is the guy who you don't view as transcendent. And I love this guy. I think he's a phenomenal player, and I think he's going to do great on any other team. But to me, I don't see how you can trade Ja. He's just he has that dog in him to like do something crazy. Jaren Jackson is first of all upping his offensive game, but defensively he's a stalwart. And to me, that kind of just leaves Desmond Bane. And I think at this point, John and Jaren Jackson are young enough where you can kind of go 1 to 2 years of like we're rebuilding these things, and these guys are our two guys, and once they're 26, 27, we'll be good to go with new talent on the roster. But to me, Desmond Bane just has to go.
No games of hoops on a Tuesday night, but we did not talk about the trade. Big blockbuster trade, Memphis and Orlando Magic. We'll get into it all. My name is Shlomo Stark.
My name is Levi Jacob.
And this is the daily basketball recap in 15 minutes or less. Levi, I love blockbuster trades. And we haven't had one of these in a while. Last few trades I feel like have been like good player for good player. Like we haven't had like a player for a lot of picks in like a year. Feels like maybe even 2. I don't even know exactly the amount, but like I'm so used to like we had the Luka AD trade. We had the I can't think of any other trade because that was such a big trade.
I feel
But
like Mikal Bridges was like the last time it was like a trade like this.
and the other one was Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle. That was
But
the
even
other
then,
one.
I feel like it's like, similar, like in the same vein of like, okay, good player for good player. Like the Mikal Bridges trade was like, this is
Right.
a lot of picks for like potential all-star, we're
Yeah.
hoping.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the trade. The Magic receive Desmond Bane. The Orlando Magic receive Desmond Bane. I said that already. The Memphis Grizzlies get Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, and 4 first-round picks. This year's 2025 pick, next year's 2026 pick, 2028 and 2030, and an option for a pick swap in 2029. What a haul. What a haul. This is a win now move from the Magic. We can debate what Memphis is trying to do here, but it's clear what Orlando's trying to do. The Knicks had this mentality with Bridges, which was forget them picks, and the word they did use was not forget. And just let's go all in on the best player we could get right now. And the Knicks did that with Bridges. I think they overpaid for him because they were trying to do this Nova thing, which in retrospect didn't happen because they were able to get Karl Anthony Towns. But still, that whatever. I don't know why we're talking about the Knicks now. We shouldn't. They went all in for Desmond Bane. So good job by them. I think it's a great move by them. It's a win now move. But the Grizzlies, I think they're selling. I think they're gonna blow up the team. I think the next move is JJJ, and if possible, Ja. I don't know if Ja is really tradable. A, because of what he means to Memphis, and B, it's a big contract for a, let's say, not reliable superstar. Would be the word I would use. Not reliable, not from a talent perspective, more from just his life. Still streaky. But these are big statements by two teams. One is saying we are not good with the core of Bane, Jackson, and Ja. Like that is not going to work. And the Magic saying we're like a piece or two away from actually competing here. Your thoughts on this trade, Levy?
Yeah, I actually, upon sitting with this for a little bit, because we've had now I think 2 days, I want to say, I really like this for Orlando. I think Desmond Bane is exactly what they needed. They were trying to figure out like a point guard situation, um, and it kind of would have made them compromise on too many things, I think. Like it wouldn't have given them the same kind of defense that the team can play cohesively. And Desmond Bane is one of the premier three-point shooters in the NBA. You can have him out on the court with Jalen Suggs, and neither of them are perfect facilitators, but they can both facilitate a little bit. Anyways, they're going to be having the ball in the hands of Paolo and Franz, regardless. So it doesn't, like it doesn't make that much of a difference. But listen. Do I think it's an overpay? Yeah. But it's. I think that this team. I do think that it made the team significantly better.
It's an overpay if you value picks. These picks are not, the Magic aren't going to be good in it. And the Magic are supposed to be good in the next few years.
But
Which means
it's not just the Magic picks though.
There's only one of them that's not a Magic pick.
But that one is. It's swap rights with Phoenix or Washington, who are going to probably be pretty bad.
Right, but I'm saying you want to win now. You're not thinking about a pick in 2029.
I get it. I think, I think it's, but it always
like
sounds
it's a mentality
better.
thing. It's
Right.
a mentality thing. Like I'm saying, like I personally I'm a believer in like if you can win, like forget about the picks. Like we've seen Andrew Nemhart was drafted 31, as Zach Lowe and Bill Simmons keep talking about. Like nobody knows what they're doing in the draft. Like the draft, you could get. Donovan Mitchell was like the 8th pick. Giannis was the 14th. Jokic was in like the 6th round.
Right.
Like, draft picks. If I was a GM, draft picks would be my favorite asset. Would be as a trade piece.
Right. Well, I think
Like,
what's also funny about it, I think that the Magic are like also like, please take these draft picks away from us, because aside from their very obvious picks in Franz, their picking has been a little bit rough. Ultimately, like they haven't been so great at selecting their own.
Paolo was a good pick.
They had the first overall pick.
Yeah, but they could have picked Jalen. Who was it? Jalen
Jabari.
Green.
No,
Jabari. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying there was a real debate then if they were going to pick
Or Chet, right?
Jabari or Paolo. And they went with like people have messed up the first pick. Like Anthony Bennett was the first pick. Like it's not even true. Like they had the first pick. Like give them props. Like you got to give props for a first pick too. I think like people have botched the first pick. Greg Oden first pick.
But aside
Darko
from
Milicic was second pick.
right, but I'm saying
like people botch these.
I'm saying Jalen Suggs is not the franchise player they're hoping that he what maybe he will be, but he's not yet, at least, and he doesn't really look like it.
A great pick.
I don't know.
I love Suggs.
He's good, but I just feel like he doesn't.
Are we doing the redraftables right now with the Suggs draft? Is that what we're doing right now?
I'm just actually trying to look at what draft was that? 2021.
I think so.
Either way, while I'm looking this up, yeah, 2021.
So you talk and I look it up because you can't do both.
What do you mean? Of course I can do both.
Okay,
I think that I actually don't. I'm like gonna swerve. I don't think it's that much of a swerve because I've heard literally both sides of this on social media. I think that the Grizzlies are actually not going to. I think it's a retooling in their minds. I don't think it's a rebuild. I don't think they're blowing it up. I think that they've been pretty clear about the fact that they want to keep Ja. As far as Jaren Jackson Jr., I actually don't know why you would trade him. He's a very, very high value player. I think we spoke about this before. He's about like $23 million a year, so it's a very tradable contract. And he's been in either all defensive player conversations or all-star, all-NBA conversations the past 2 years. He makes stupid fouls a lot for sure, but I just feel like in both situations with Ja and JJJ, they're worth more to that team than they would be to other teams. I don't know, but they're both very, very good players, and I do think that like if they're trying to maybe make some other move this offseason to try to get somebody to consolidate this team, this was a move that they had to make because Desmond Bane, he's a very good player, but I don't think that it's like quite the return that most other teams would want to be getting out of him.
Listen, it's what I'm saying. We're talking about draft picks. I just looked it up. Like there are only two clear better picks who were later than 5th than Suggs in the draft, and it's Şengün. He was 13th. Like it wasn't like they were like debating between Suggs and Şengün. He was 10 picks later. No one knew exactly what I'm talking about. No one knows who's good in the draft and who isn't. And Franz, who was 8th, who they ended up picking.
That's not true.
So
that's not the only two.
What? What's not true?
If you go further than that, they have Trey Murphy, Jalen Johnson. Like, there's some. I mean, no one knows 100% with some of these players, but still, like,
Yeah, but
they're
you
they.
can't say those guys are for sure better than Suggs yet. I said for sure better than Suggs. If you were redrafting, you could debate it. But I'm saying if you're redrafting right now, you're taking Franz and Şengün over Suggs. Johnson and Murphy's are conversations. I don't know what their career is going to be like. You could debate it. My point is, like, you can't say it's a bad pick right now, Suggs over Murphy. You could disagree with it, but it would be a bad pick to do Suggs over Franz and Şengün. My point is, you can't say they're bad at drafting because they pick Suggs fifth. Like, that's just
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah.
And my point is, everyone's bad at drafting also. Like, no one knows what they're doing. Like, it never happens that 1 through 15 are 1 through the 15 the best players. It's never happened in any draft. Like, it just doesn't, no one knows what they're doing. There's always players in the second or third round that happen to be better than people in the first round. Like,
Yeah, but there's
I
always
find picks
like.
to be useless. I just don't. 4 first rounders for someone I know is excellent, I'll do that every time.
Yeah, I think right. I definitely think like I agree with you in regards to the fact that it's a win now move. I think that there are teams that are better at scouting. I think that the Spurs generally do a good job. The Thunder do a good job. Like, but I hear the argument for sure. And I also think that you're right in the way of I think that people really over overblow like how important picks are.
Mm-hmm. Like the Knicks, they gave Obi Toppin away for 2 second rounders. I was so upset when that happened. I was like, what are we doing? I don't want 2 second rounders. I like Obi Toppin. And now look at Obi Toppin. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like draft picks. But the only reason I would like draft picks, going back to why Memphis would do this trade, is if I'm blowing up my team and I'm not trying to win, then I want as many draft picks as I can because I think it's a crapshoot and you got to just try to basically get as many players as you can. So you want as many draft picks as possible. So if you're rebuilding, you're going to want as many first picks as you could have, which is why I think that Memphis, and I'm not the only one that thinks this. This is not like
Oh
a
yeah.
basketball just thought here, but Memphis is blowing it up. You do not think Memphis is blowing it up, correct? You think
Yeah.
Memphis is using this to get like a KD or a Giannis?
Probably not those two, but yeah, I think that they're trying to make some sort of other move that they think they could find a better that better complements another two players that's better complements whatever's going on. I don't know who that is, but still.
I'm going to do something fun here. I'm going to throw you off guard.
Okay.
Let's make a bet. Are you willing to make a bet
Sure.
on what are the grid? All right, fine. So let's bet on Burgers Bar.
Okay.
Loser orders the other Burgers Bar for dinner one night. Okay. And the bet would be as follows. If Memphis trades more, like, let's say JJJ, Ja, or both, I win. And if they get an asset and like try to, make a more super team, you win. And if they do nothing but keep it like this, then none of us win because we were both wrong. They just want picks for Bane. Which good for them. I think we both think this is not this was the whole
Yes,
move.
the only move. Right, right,
We
100%.
both agree with that. So I guess we'd be wrong. And yeah, just make the bet.
I agree. I agree too.
So let's say this though. Let's use Shams as a source of truth. Okay? So, meaning, if Shams says they tried to trade JJJ and Ja but weren't able to, or for your way, they tried to get Durant and then they weren't able to, then you win the bet because you were right about their intentions. They just weren't. One of us was right about their intentions. They weren't able to, and we use Shams and only Shams as that source of truth for this bet.
I could do it. I'm down.
All right, amazing. And we'll do burger fries. Burger and fries is the
Deal.
bet.
All right. Sounds good. I'm happy
All
with
right,
it.
amazing. All right. That was the daily basketball recap in 15 minutes less. I want to thank you, Levy, for co-hosting, for producing, and for going with the flow with me and gambling a little bit. First time gambling, Levy. Very exciting. I want to thank you, Max, for producing the video and apologizing for the lack of quality of my mic and camera that I've been having. Sorry, Max. We'll try to be better at this. And I want to thank you for listening. See you around.